television.
This season on LearningTown!
Take a walk less traveled and a left at the sharing tree. Through the velveteen hills past the mountains of hugs to a place where our hearts can run free. LearningTown along with me. We'll live and laugh and know and see and learn and love and grow and be just who we want to be in LearningTown. Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, I am just off camera here with Paul and Storm. How are you guys doing?
Lean in so everyone can see you a little bit.
Hey!
There he is.
I'm actually here. I didn't just dub my voice. How are you guys enjoying ConnectiCon so far?
Having a good time. It's a blast.
Excellent. Now, in the time since I spoke to you last at PAX East a few years ago, you have produced and released the first season of LearningTown.
We did. It was terrific. We did that thing.
This is not the first time you have done jokes about kids shows in your work. You did a couple of Schoolhouse Rock homages over the years. But you mentioned in the panel earlier today that kids show wasn't the original idea for this web series.
This is true.
Originally, it was going to be an office-based musical, like The Office, but with music.
Well, that is the one thing that The Office has been missing over the years, is music.
They never did have the full-on musical episode, did they?
I guess they thought that would be hard to pull off in a mockumentary. I don't know. But Spinal Tap can do it. I don't know why they can't.
Their loss.
Yeah. Now, you showed the original pitch video for this Lost concept, which had better production value than a lot of fully produced web series that I've seen.
My name is Paul and Storm, and together we are Paul and Storm. We're a semi-famous independent comedy music duo.
That was actually directed by Greg Benson, who has the Mediocre Films YouTube channel, friend of ours, it was certainly more production than we probably deserved. I don't know.
It was also an amazing crew. Most of the folks that worked on it also worked on the guild, so they were familiar with working with each other. It was actually shot in one day, just in the backyard of a generous patron. So
if it was actually shot in the same yard that they shot the Game On music video for whichever season of the guild that was on.
I didn't recognize
5 or something. Yeah, that was so it was a bit of YouTube history.
Obviously, you two have written together for quite some time, but now you brought in another writer, Josh Kagan, screenwriter of the quite underrated film Band Slam.
Yes. I own a copy.
That's the best recommendation right there. You have figured out your working rhythm together for a long time, but now you brought in a third person. Was that challenging at all, or did you just fit in naturally with the Paul and Storm organization right away?
He'd been a friend of ours for a while, so it helped to know that we shared a very similar sort of comedy sensibility in general.
that's really why we chose to bring him in, is he knew us and what we do and thought that he would be good at helping us frame this series.
Yeah, and we generally, while we wrote it together, so to speak, he was very much the head writer. We deferred to him to a great deal as far as, he had a lot more experience doing things like giving an episode structure, like a beginning, middle, and end.
Or say, writing dialogue,
Yeah.
which many web series have dialogue in them.
Most of them.
There are a couple. There's probably a silent one out there somewhere.
Is there a mime web series, I wonder?
Oh, I think that might be a project for someone, maybe us, but probably not.
Quick to Kickstarter. Now, were there any additional writing challenges just in developing the fictionalized versions of yourselves? You're playing characters named Paul and Storm who aren't exactly the real Paul and Storm. What was it like figuring out, okay, television Paul will be like this? And
Yeah, neither of us is actors per se. Certainly had no experience acting, so we knew we didn't want to stray too far from just sort of our general selves, but at the same time we had to sort of heighten the characters a bit to give them some shape and make them more interesting from a narrative perspective.
Yeah, I think that's a really great question, and it's something that we did talk about a lot, and there were some ideas that we did shoot down because we didn't feel like we didn't want to be portrayed that way, but I'm pretty happy with how it came out.
Yeah.
now you said at your concert the other night that you are working on a new album.
We are. Well, we've had new songs sort of trickling out over the past year and a half, and we are trying to assemble those along with a healthy handful of brand new songs, enough to be an album's worth of material because it's been long enough.
My favorite band doesn't write new songs anymore. My favorite band hasn't played the show in more than 14
hoping to run a Kickstarter on that album and a bunch of sort of bonus material to go along with that album, because that's what the kids are doing these days, is the Kickstartering and the Instagramming and stuff. So we got to jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah, the idea is to not just take the stuff that we've done and collect it up with a few things, but to set us up for our next things as well, get people excited about us just doing stuff.
Yeah. Now that we're multimedia artists and stuff.
Well, you have made quite the splash in Hollywood. A classic song from your Da Vinci's Notebook days was featured in a major summer blockbuster.
Now everybody's died, so until our tears are dried, we'll drink and drink and drink and drink, and then we'll drink some more.
This is true. That was that was a really good phone call that day.
It was literally, we just got a message from the producers of Despicable Me 2 saying, we want to use your song, and us saying to them, we would love for you to use our song, and it went just about that smoothly all the way.
Which is apparently how things always work in Hollywood.
Absolutely. Hollywood is a very easy place to
So we are fully expecting our standard rich and famous contract to come through from Sir Lou Lord.
Yeah.
So you've got Woodstock coming up in San Diego, but for those poor saps of us who can't make it out to the West Coast, you've got a couple shows with Wil Wheaton coming up this fall, I believe, on the East Coast?
Yeah, in October, we've got a series of shows in the Northeast in Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York, and Boston. And then we're also going to have a series of 3 shows later in the month in Texas, in Dallas, Houston, and Austin. Those just got confirmed, I think. So yeah, those are going to be fun. We've done a number of those shows with Will, but usually they're just sort of one-offs, and we're very excited to sort of take it on the road for a spin. Because Will's never toured in a van.
He's gonna learn what the road life is all
That's right.
about.
I'm hoping we're going to make a web series just out of seeing Will touring with us in a van and trying to parse out our very intricate rules of farting while in the tour van.
Yeah, that actually brings me to my last question. We would love to see a second season of LearningTown, but if for whatever reason that doesn't happen, what will the next web series idea be?
We actually have a few ideas, which are terrible.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Well, there's the whole Wil Wheaton in a touring van with us. I think that's got promise.
Yeah. We do have some ideas, but we can't let them out of the bag, but it will involve us doing very silly things.
Well, that's all we ask for. Thank you very much for sitting down with me, and I don't have a sign-off planned, so...
And just lean in and wave.
Bye! You can check out other interviews on geekvision.tv and other videos by myself and other more entertaining people. You know where to find these guys, paulandstorm.com. Buy all of their songs because they are all worthwhile. Buy the LearningTown soundtrack because it's amazing. Watch LearningTown on Felicia Day's Geek and Sundry Empire. And signing off from ConnectiCon.
Go do things.
Wonder Twin powers.
Activate!
Now I just want to see how long they'll go.
This is about this long.